Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be looking at our new unit, which is going to be on geometry and measurement. So today we're going to be looking at converting units of measurement, and this is going to be really important to understand because this is kind of like the basis of all of our units of measurement and how to convert. And so it's going to be really, really useful to make sure we understand. So that's what we're looking at today. So there's two different types of systems that we look at for measurement. We have the metric system, which looks at our meters, kilometers, centimeters, meters, or millimeters. We have kilometers per hour, Celsius, and this is like the Canadian version that we look at, and this is most commonly in Canada. And then we have imperial system, and this is usually what we see in the States, where we have inches, miles per hour, we have Fahrenheit. So when we are looking at numbers, we have to convert between the different units of measurement. And when we look at the units of measurement in the metric system and we want to convert between them, we have to make sure that all units are related by the powers of 10. And then most conversions can be done by just moving the decimal place over. So we're going to look at the following table to look at some of the common metric equivalents. And at the bottom here, there's an image, and this image is how we can convert. So if we want to go from our base unit, which is 1, and we want to go to millimeters, then we would have to multiply by a certain number. And for millimeters, it's times 10 3 times because it's a power of 10. But say if we want to move to the left and we wanted to go to like a smaller number, we would have to divide by 10. Okay, so that is how that works depending on what way we want to go. So here we have 1 meter and we want to convert it into centimeters. And so in order to go from our meter into centimeters, we need to add 2 decimal places to it because we are going to be moving our decimal place over to the right twice to make the number larger. And so if we do that, we're going to literally take this number and we are going to divide by 10, and if we do that, 1 meter into centimeters is 100 centimeters. If we have 1 meter cubed into centimeters cubed, because it is cubed, this makes it 3 times the amount, so it's going to be 1 million centimeters cubed. If we have 1,000 milligrams into grams, so 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. If we have 1 meter, we need to convert that over, very similar to what we just did there, but it's the opposite, so it's going to be 1,000 millimeters. If we want to convert 1 centimeter to millimeter, it's very similar to what we did before, but because we're doing millimeter is smaller than a meter, so we're going to have 10. And then we have kilometer to meters, so we have 1,000 meters in a kilometer because we have kilometer, and then we have 1 unit of measurement per meter. And then if we want to go the opposite, 1 meter, we just have to move the decimal place over now. And so it's going to be 0.001. And then last but not least, 1 millimeter into a centimeter is going to give us 0.1 centimeters. So that is kind of the basis. If I were you, I would add this to your memory aid just so you kind of know how it converts. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our proportions here at the very bottom to do an example. I'm not expecting you to memorize, but I do expect you to kind of understand how to convert because I will be giving you the conversion sheet. It might not be on this sheet. Oh, it is here. This is a conversion sheet here, but I will be giving you another one for your future assessments. So you do have this so you can convert easily. But if you want to remember this picture over here, you can create an acronym for it, whatever you like, just so you can kind of remember. One type of acronym is King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. You can use that if you like. Up to you how you want to do it, but make sure that you do understand it. And one thing to add is some base units that you will see is you're going to see a gram, you will see a meter, you might see a liter, and those are all base units, so those will all fall into this category here. And from there, you need to figure out how many decimal places are we going to move it over in order to reach the same. So if we want to go from 1,000 milligrams, we want to make it to 1. We have to move that over how many different times in order to get to 1. So let's do some conversion. I know this can be really confusing, but we're going to use some conversions using proportion. So the first thing we're going to look at is 13 kilometers into meters. So what we know is that there's 1 kilometer is also in proportion to 1,000 meters. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to take this 13 kilometers and we're going to multiply that by 1,000 meters and then divide that by 1 kilometer. So we're literally just taking this whole unit thing here and plugging it in to what is given to us to convert it. When we do that, what happens is that these two cancel each other out. So it's going to be 13 times 1,000 divided by 1, which is going to give us 13,000. Next, up here we have kilograms to grams. So we know that there's 1 kilogram in 100 grams. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to take that 24 kilograms. We're going to multiply that by 100 grams over 1 kilogram. Our kilograms cross each other out. So 24 times 100 divided by 1 is 24,000. Now, next one, we have 4.5 centimeters and 2 millimeters. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So therefore, 4.5 centimeters times 10 millimeters divided by 1 centimeter. Our centimeters cross each other out, and so therefore we're left with the units of millimeter. 4.5 times 10 is going to give you 45. So I'm going to write the next 3 conversions down. So we have 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram. We have 1 liter, which is equal to 1,000 milliliters, and we have 1 decimeter, which is equal to 100 meters. I want you to try it out, show your work, and then solve for it. Let's see if you get it right. All right, so check your work now, see if you got it right. Make sure you understand how we move this over. Okay, so in this situation here, say we have 67 is times 100. So we're adding 2 zeros. Our decimal place is always here. We move it to the right twice, and then we add 2 zeros. So therefore, our decimal place is now over here. And that's why you get 6,700 millimeters. Okay? All right, let's try an example together so we can kind of figure this out. So example 2 says, Layla wanted to buy a new tablecloth for her table, but she forgot to measure it before she went to the store. She texted her brother to ask him to measure, but he decided to be annoying and give her the measurement in different units. Calculate the area of the tablecloth in meters squared. So remember, meters squared is m times m. Okay, that's how we get meters squared equals meters squared. And so we have some important units. We have this unit here and we have this unit here. So therefore, we need to make sure that we are using it in meters. This is in kilometers. So what we have to do, our step 1 is convert. Convert kilometers to millimeters. So therefore, taking our 0.0022 kilometers times, we know how many meters are in a kilometer, which is 1,000 meters over 1 kilometer, which will give us 2.2 meters. And now what we need to do is that we need to make sure our millimeters is now converted as well. So we have convert millimeters to meters. And so what we do here is we need to take 0.4750 millimeters times, we know there's 1 meter in 1,000 millimeters. And then what happens when we do that, we will get 4.75 meters. And so then from there, what we need to do is calculate the area. So calculating the area, that is our step 3. Area. So what we're going to do, area of total is equal to length times width, which is equal to our 2 units, 2.2 meters, times 4.75 meters, which is going to give us 10.45 meters squared. Do not forget that squared. So therefore, that is your total. Now, sometimes we do require to convert between the two measurement systems. So I want you to think of some examples of when this would occur in the real world. And on the right-hand side, that is the conversion chart. So in this situation here, we're gonna look at converting centimeters into inches. So centimeters into inches, we can see we have our metric and then we have our imperial system. So for our metric to our imperial, we know we have 20 centimeters here. We're gonna multiply that by our number here, which is in inches, 0.3937 inches divided by 1 centimeter. And we will get an answer of 7.9 inches. And look for pounds. So we have pounds, we're trying to convert that to kilograms. So we have 150 pounds. Multiply that. Remember, whatever is the same unit, we want to cancel it out. So the pounds is going to go on the bottom and kilograms is going to go on the top. So 1 kilogram over 2.2046 kilograms is going to give us 68 kilograms. And we're going to do liters, so same sort of thing. So we have 3 liters. We're going to multiply that. Liter stays on the bottom, gallons goes on top. Find your unit here. So we have 0.26 gallons is equal to 1 liter, and that's going to give us 0.8. And I want you to try D, E, and F. Pause now, try it out. Alrighty, so check your work, make sure you got that correct. And then let's do the last example together. So it's to solve the word problem using conversion. So it says the school is 5 kilometers away from your house. How many miles is it? So we are looking at converting kilometers to miles. So we have 5 kilometers. We want to keep kilometers on the bottom and miles on top. We know that the conversion for kilometers, so 1 kilometer to miles is 0.6214 miles if we looked at the top charts. So that means we're going to multiply 0.6214 over 1, and we will get an answer of 3.1 miles. All right, try B and C on your own. Try it out. Pause now. All right, check your work, make sure you understand that. If you